Chapter IX. God blessed Noah and his sons, saying the following: Have many children, and may your descendants spread over all the earth. All the wild animals, all the birds, all the animals that crawl on the ground, and all the fish will fear and dread you. All of them will be under your control. You may eat the animals, and also the plants. I give them to you as food. But one thing you must not eat is meat with blood, for in the blood is life. I will settle accounts with every human being and with every animal that kills someone. Human beings were created to be like God, and therefore whoever kills a person will be killed by another. Have many children, and may your descendants spread over all the earth. God also said to Noah and his sons, Now I will make my covenant with you and with your descendants, and with all the animals that came out of the boat and that are with you. That is, the birds, the domestic animals, and the wild animals. Yes, all the animals of the world. I make the following covenant with you. I promise that never again will living beings be destroyed by a flood, and there will never again be another flood to destroy the earth. As a sign of this covenant that I am making forever with you and with all the animals, I will place my bow in the clouds. The rainbow will be the sign of the covenant that I am making with the world. When I cover the sky with clouds and the rainbow appears, then I will remember the covenant I made with you and with all the animals. And thus there will never again be a flood to destroy all living beings. When the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the covenant I made forever with all the living beings that are in the world. The rainbow is the sign of the covenant that I am making with all the living beings that live on the earth. The sons of Noah who came out of the boat with him were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. These three were the sons of Noah, and their descendants spread throughout the whole world. Noah was a farmer. He was the first person who planted a vineyard. One day Noah drank a lot of wine, became drunk, and lay naked inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw that his father was naked and went out to tell his two brothers. Then Shem and Japheth took a cloak, placed it on their own shoulders, walked backward, and with the cloak covered their father who was naked. In order not to see their father naked, they did this looking to the side. When Noah woke up after being drunk, he found out what his youngest son Ham had done. Then Noah said the following: Cursed be Canaan. He will be a slave to his brothers, a miserable slave. Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and may Canaan be his slave. May God cause Japheth to have dominion over many lands, and may his descendants live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Japheth. After the flood, Noah lived for 350 more years and died when he was 950 years old. Chapter 10. These are the descendants of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah. Sons were born to the three after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The descendants of Javan were the peoples of Elisha, Spain, Cyprus, and Rhodes. These were the descendants of Japheth. They lived along the coastlands and islands, each people and each family in their own land, with their own language. The sons of Ham were Cush, Egypt, Libya, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabda, Rama, and Sabteka. The sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, the first great conqueror of the world. With the help of the Lord God, he became a famous hunter, and that is why it is said, Be like Nimrod, who with the help of the Lord was a great hunter. At the beginning, the cities of Babylon, Erech, and Akkad, all three in Shinar, were part of his kingdom. From that region, Nimrod went to Assyria, and there built the cities of Nineveh, Rehobothir, Calah, and Rezin, which is between Nineveh and the great city of Calah. The descendants of Egypt were the peoples of Ludum, Anamim, Laabim, Naphtuhim, Pathrusim, Casluhim, and Crete, from whom the Philistines descended. Canaan was the father of two sons, Sidon, the oldest, and Het. From Canaan also descended the Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Archites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. The territory of the Canaanites extended southward from Sidon to Gerar, near Gaza, and eastward it reached Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim, near Lasha. These were the descendants of Canaan, each people and each family in their own land, with their own language. Shem, the older brother of Japheth, was the father of all the Hebrews. The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah, and Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber was the father of 2 sons. One was named Peleg because in his time the peoples of the world were divided. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan was the father of Almadad, Shalef, Hazamath, Jerah, Hadoram, Zal, Dikla, Obel, Abemel, Sheba, Ophor, Havilah, and Jabub. All these were the sons of Joktan. They lived in the lands that stretched from the region of Messia to Sipher, in the eastern hill country. These were the descendants of Shem, each people and each family in their own land, with their own language. These are the families of the sons of Noah, nation by nation, according to the various lines of descendants. After the flood, all the nations of the earth descended from Noah. Chapter the 11th. At that time, all the peoples spoke only one language. All used the same words. Some departed from the east and came to a plain in Shinar, where they settled. One day they said to each other, "People, come on, let us make burnt bricks." Thus they had bricks to build instead of stones and used tar instead of mortar. Then they said, "Now let us build a city with a tower that reaches to the sky. That way we will become famous and not be scattered over the whole world." Then the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that those people were building. The Lord said, "These people are one people, and they all speak one language. This that they are doing is only the beginning. Soon they will be able to do whatever they want. Let us go down and confuse their language, so that one will not understand what the other is saying." Thus the Lord scattered them over the whole world, and they stopped building the city. The city received the name Babel, because there the Lord confused the language spoken by all the inhabitants of the earth. And from there he scattered them over the whole world. These are the descendants of Shem. 2 years after the flood, when Shem was 100 years old, his son Arphaxad was born. After that, Shem lived 500 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When he was 35 years old, Arphaxad was the father of a son called Shelah. After that, Arphaxad lived 403 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When Shelah was 30 years old, his son Eber was born. After that, Shelah lived 403 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When Eber was 34 years old, his son Peleg was born. After that, Eber lived 430 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When he was 30 years old, Peleg was the father of a son called Reu. After that, Peleg lived 209 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When Reu was 32 years old, his son Serug was born. After that, Reu lived 207 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When Serug was 30 years old, his son Nar was born. After that, Serug lived 200 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. When Nar was 29 years old, his son Terah was born. After that, Nar lived 119 more years and was the father of other sons and daughters. After reaching 70 years of age, Terah became the father of 3 sons, Abram, Nar, and Haran. These are the descendants of Terah, who was the father of Abram, Nar, and Haran. Haran was the father of Lot. Terah was still alive when his son Haran died in Babylon, the city of Ur, where he had been born. Abram married Sarai, and Nar married Milcah. Milcah and Iscah were daughters of Haran. Sarai had no children, for she was barren. Terah left the city of Ur in Babylon to go to the land of Canaan, and took along his son Abram, his grandson Lot, who was the son of Haran, his daughter-in-law Sarai, who was Abram's wife. They came to Haran and settled there. And Terah died in Haran at the age of 205 years. Chapter 12. One day the Lord God said to Abram, "Leave your land, your relatives, and your father's house, and go to a land that I will show you. Your descendants will form a great nation. I will bless you. Your name will be famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you, and curse those who curse you. And through you, I will bless all the peoples of the world." Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran, as the Lord had commanded, and Lot went with him. Abram took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, the son of his brother, and all the riches and slaves he had acquired in Haran. When they arrived in Canaan, Abram crossed the country until he came to Shechem, a holy place, where the sacred tree of Moreh was. At that time, the Canaanites lived in that region. There, the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "I will give this land to your descendants." In that place, Abram built an altar to God the Lord, because there the Lord had appeared to him. After that, Abram went to the mountainous region east of the city of Bethel and set up his camp there. Bethel was to the west of the camp, and the city of Ai was to the east. In that place, Abram also built an altar and worshipped the Lord. Then he kept moving from place to place, always heading south through the land of Canaan. At that time there was such a great famine in Canaan that Abram went to live for a while in Egypt. When he was approaching Egypt, Abram said to Sarai his wife, "Listen, you are a very beautiful woman, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'That is his wife.' Therefore they will kill me and let you live. So say that you are my sister. Thus because of you they will let me live and treat me well." When Abram arrived in Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai, his wife, was indeed very beautiful. Some high officials of the king of Egypt also saw her and told him how beautiful that woman was. So she was taken to the king's palace. Because of her, the king treated Abram well and gave him sheep, oxen, donkeys, male and female slaves, female donkeys, and camels. But because of Sarai, the Lord God punished the king and his family with terrible diseases. Therefore the king sent for Abram and asked, "Why did you do this to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? You said she was your sister, and so I took her as my wife. Therefore here is your wife. Take her and go away." Then the king gave orders, and his guards took Abram out of Egypt, along with his wife and all that belonged to him.